Hey guys, Hello Bella here. I'm going to be doing some Christmas research with you guys. I'm just going to kind of pop over to Merch Informer and search some of the top selling designs and then cross reference them on Amazon and then kind of see what the competition is and sort of show you some points of things that you can be designing for the holiday season. I'm posting this video on November 16th, so there is no reason why you can't go ahead and get some shirts up. Even if you're watching this video 2 weeks before Christmas, there will still be some people who are purchasing Christmas shirts up until the couple of days before Christmas. So let's just jump into it. Now I'm using Merch Informer and I'm going to use the Merch Hunter tool. What I've typed in this tool is Christmas 2020 shirt. And one thing that I want you to know is that I have selected the bestseller range from 99,000 to a million. And the reason that I'm doing this, and it's actually a pretty specific reason, is because the ones that are in the top rank right now are so flooded that I just don't feel like it's going to be worth my time to go over it. I feel like there's already hundreds and hundreds of shirts with these particular phrases and designs, and I wanted to make this video so that we can potentially find designs that have room for us to enter the market. And I kind of want this to be something that you can get something out of, and it for it to be useful, because it's not really useful to know about things that would have been useful for us 4 to 6 weeks ago. So anyways, with that being said, I'm going to be using this tool. It's Merch Informer, and you can use my code HellaBella or use the link below to get 20% off. There's some different things that you can use with this, but what we're going to be using today is their Merch Hunter tool, and it's going to give us some information about what is popular. So all of these shirts will be ranked. That means that they have sold, and that's kind of what we're looking for. So I'm going to go through some of them and kind of tell you my opinion, and we'll cross-reference them with the Amazon search feature, and we'll just go from there. So the first one is this 2020 Stink Stank Stunk. I would be very careful with this because this is a reference to the Grinch, and personally, I don't think that I would be doing this. It even has the little Grinch hand up here, and I just don't think it's worth risking your account. The next thing is all of these toilet paper trees. I've been seeing a ton of toilet paper trees. So my advice for you with that is to get the graphic, and then you can make all kinds of different phrases. So you don't need to worry about doing Corin tree or something like that. Like there's already so many results under that. As far as Merry Christmas mask, I've looked that up too, and there's already like 700 results, I believe, just for t-shirts. So I think that that is one of those that is just too far gone. Again, this is the Grinch again, and I just don't see why people are doing this. It's too risky. You're going to get your account shut down eventually if you keep doing this stuff. What the Elf 2020, that one has a bestseller rank right now of 113,000, and it looks like it's getting better by the day. Another Stink Stank Stunk. Again, guys, just because everybody else is doing it doesn't mean that you should do it. It's kind of one of those things that I just don't think I would play around with. Even this baby, it's COVID outside. It's kind of like you have to be very careful to not get flagged. And I know this because I've gotten a lot of rejections from things that I did not think would flag a rejection. So now I'm just extra careful. This Christmas 2020 with the reindeer and the Germex and the toilet paper, that's just a recipe for success for this year. Christmas 2020, this is pretty funny. It's got Santa Claus and he's carrying toilet paper and he's wearing a mask. So that is actually really funny. Dear Santa, I blame 2020. That's a phrase I would probably look into. I'll go ahead and type that in. Again, what I look for when I'm cross-referencing here is that there aren't already a ton of results. Like if there was 500 results, it would be really difficult for us to rank on this page. The fact that there's only 100 results means that there's actually room for us to enter into this market. This design is not something that looks great to me at all. It's not a great design, which it hasn't sold at all. But I think there's definitely room to compete here. Even some of the designs that are popping up don't even say what we typed in. So if we have word for word that in our title, we're going to pop up before these other people here. So that is something that I would probably keep on a list. Dear Santa, I blame 2020. And you can make your own list if you're watching this video and kind of making notes from me scrolling through. What I typically do is I have a file, an Excel file on my computer, and I put the category of the item, and then I put the the design, what I want it to say, and then I'll just save them all for later. That way, if I'm in the middle of researching, I don't have to stop and make the design. I think it's good to do one thing at a time. That way, you can kind of like do it in batches, like do your research in a batch, and then do your designing in a batch, and then do your uploading in a batch. That way, you're not stopping and starting all of these different things. Sorry, 2020, you're on Santa's naughty list. Another great one. This has a bestseller rank of 143,000. Average estimated sales is 18 a month, so that is actually really, really good. You serious, Clark? That is, another thing that I wouldn't mess with from a popular movie. Baby, it's COVID outside. I'm really curious how many of these are already up. So far, we've got 172 of those, so there's definitely room to enter in. Actually, I would just be careful. I mean, looks like a lot of people are spelling COVID with dots in the title, and I'm not really sure why that is. And maybe it could be so that they don't get flagged. They notice that they don't all have COVID in dots on the shirt, but in the title they're putting C dot O dot, on so on and so forth. That might be because they don't want to get flagged. We've got so many of these Christmas 2020 with a mask. I mean, that is just a gold mine of ideas that you could come up with here. Christmas pajama, that doesn't even make sense, yet it is selling really well, actually. It makes no sense to me at all. 2020 is elfed up. So we've got already over 1,000 results. I'm going to refine this a little bit by putting shirt at the end and see if we can get it down even smaller. Now we've got 638 results. So this to me is just not worth going into. It's the no hugging season, Christmas 2020 with some cactuses. You've got, I think that has potential. It's the no hugging season, especially if you've got some Christmas cactus graphics. It's the no hugging season shirt. Yeah, this is a great one. So this only has 89 results. All right, moving on. We can look and see. We've got this Christmas sweater pattern. If you can get yourself a Christmas sweater graphic, you can make a lot of different designs with that. All they've done here is just put that on top. Put the Santa Claus on top of that, and then they layered the mask on top of the Santa Claus, and then they put 2020 on the mask. So it looks like those are all separate elements. Even maybe the sunglasses are separate elements. Oh, just made a sale. Always fun to make a sale. So that puts me up to, is that just 146 so far today? 31 sales, 2 returns. So that's pretty good. What does this say? I love my family. 2020 Christmas. Okay. Christmas crew 2020. Nope, 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 nope. Yep, all the different ways to wear a mask. This is a really clever design here. This one is, I'm going to click on it so you can take a look at it, but it's just people who don't wear their mask correctly. And it's actually, looks like the person is a pretty good designer because they were able to flip the mask around all these different ways. And the same Santa graphic, but wearing the mask in all those different ways. So that's actually a good one. The price on that's $18.99. Christmas 2020, we've got looks like a little sloth wearing a mask. So they mixed the sloth and the pandemic and Christmas together to make one shirt. So definitely think about how you can be adding different things into cross niche. Here we've got another one of those nutrition label shirts. So these are going to be really big. For some reason, they're really taking off lately. Here's another one that says green beans. Got another Santa wearing a mask here. We've got Rudolph wearing a mask. We've got quarantine tree. I can't hardly say it, y'all. Y'all just bear with me. I'm doing the best I can here. One of the things that I look at for these graphics is, do I have a graphic that I can have that is better than this or at least similar than this? And, is there a different phrase that I can use? Can I make my own spin on it? You don't want to go in here and completely copy. That goes without saying. But, it's kind of one of those things where this is definitely the place to get in on ideas in the early days. We can just look up the phrase elfed up and see what we can find. I'm kind of curious about this because this phrase itself, it seems like it's pretty saturated. You never know what we're going to find. So the first page is pretty much the same stuff we were seeing before. What I'm looking for here is some different types of elf phrases. The chill elf, the grumpy elf, the sporty elf, all these different types of elf shirts are uh, selling. Looks like the Trump elf, and they put the Trump haircut, and then the stuff in the middle there. That one's selling pretty well. The hungry elf, that's a pretty funny one. Let's look for that. We've got 494 results for the hungry elf, so that is to me not going to be something that I would pursue. But you can use your own, creativity to put in whatever phrase you want. The chatty elf, the artistic elf, the crazy cat lady elf. I mean, that who would have thought to combine all of those things? And what these have people have done, they've just got this base graphic, and then they've got the font that they want on all of them, and all they're doing is changing the phrase in the middle here, and then you can crank out tons of designs just by having that one graphic. Let's look up Christmas drinking shirt and see if we can find anything. A lot of people have Christmas parties coming up. A lot of people do Christmas at like a friend's house, and they do Dirty Santa. So let's see if we can come up with any kind of Christmas drinking shirts. Let's get lit. Everyone knows this one has been done to death. I don't know that you would really pursue that and get anywhere. The wine lover elf, that's a good idea. He sees you when you're drinking. He knows when you're faced. That one is pretty funny. I would be careful with the he sees you when you're whatever, because that might be trademarked. This one just has Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Whiskey, Vodka, Tequila, Blitzen. That is really clever. Let's see how many people have already made one of those. So this one is actually not super crowded, 364. That's still a lot, but there is some room here because I don't see a lot of colored ones. You could do a red shirt or a green shirt or do different fonts. These are not really a festive font, in my opinion. You could do a Christmas font, and there's actually some pretty cool Christmas fonts that you can buy. They're like not very expensive. You can, I think, pop over to like Etsy or the Hungry JPEG and see what kind of Christmas fonts that you could come up with and potentially make that into a better design. Merry Christmas. So a lot of people have the Christmas Christ thing. That's something that you could look into. And then what the juxtaposition here of this and Santa's favorite hoe looks like that. That one has been a phrase for a while, so I don't know that I would get into that either. Christmas is coming. This is a Game of Thrones reference. They've got the throne here with the Christmas candy canes. Over here, we've got a Star Wars shirt, so we wouldn't really want to pay too much attention to that. This is my Christmas pajama shirt. That is another super popular one. And, throughout the years, we're really seeing a lot of the same phrases pop up. I like how this person has taken teeth and Christmas and the buffalo and the leopard print and mixed it all together once again to create one crazy specific design. That they've got the word dental in the title, so that is, that's not the best. I probably would have put dental hygienist, dentist, and things like that in the search results so that people could find it. If people can't find it, then they can't buy it. So I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. This is a song, so I'm not sure how they got away with that. Again, this is my Christmas pajama shirt, but it's got a panda. Stay home, drink bourbon, and pet the dog. That is potentially a good one. I have not seen that one anywhere else. So when I type this phrase in, I get only 152 results, and that's a good seller right there. The sales rank on it's 162,000, so really good sales rank right there. And you've got some room. You could add some graphics. You could do some different things. You can make it a little girlier because it looks like it's definitely got a lot of male font choices going on here. Which, I mean, bourbon is typically like a masculine thing. Not saying that women can't drink bourbon, but it looks kind of like it's marketed as sort of a stoic masculine shirt. So yeah, you could do your own take on it and do something there. All right, guys, we're going to look through just a few more and then I'll wrap up the video. I just kind of wanted to look at some Christmas things with you guys to give you some ideas for Christmas 2020. You've got a lot of things on here that have been trademarked and a lot of things that I would not touch with a 10-foot pole, especially when my merch account has been bringing me more money this year than like ever before. I don't want to mess a good thing up just because I get greedy. So, yeah, just don't get greedy and don't do anything to risk your account. Some of this stuff is not relevant to what I typed in. It just probably has something to do with the sales rank that's popping up. Walt whiskey, the happiest drink on earth. That is another thing that I would be very, very scared to mess with. Merry Christmas gnomes. Gnomes are super popular. If you don't know about gnomes, go get yourself a gnome graphic because gnomes are still really, really popular. Mary AF. This could potentially be a good one. I meant to talk to you guys about merch's profanity. They've changed the rule about profanity. What they said in their announcement was basically that you can't use the profanity to attack a group or a thing, and you can't use it in a negative way, I guess. So you can't be like F Trump, F Biden. You have to be like this is the best effing day ever. Like you can't. It has to be something that is not attacking a particular individual or a group. So yeah, that's changed a little bit. Looks like Merry AF is really, really crowded. Let's try Jolly AF. If you don't know what AF means, maybe just Google it. Jolly AF. There's actually room here, and it looks like this other person is trying to move on up with that too. So Jolly AF, there is some room in this niche for us to jump on in. You could also go look for all the different Christmas words and try to put AF after them. We also got an announcement today that we are getting tote bags and pillowcases. So that's good news. We've got a lot of good news lately, guys. So, you know, if your merch account is something that you've been thinking about putting more time into, this might be the time to kind of focus on that because Q4 is here and sales are certainly up for me. I'm sure they are for a lot of people as well. But it's one of those things that the more time that you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. Hopefully you like the video. I know, research is not exactly something that's super, super fun to do, but if we do it together, maybe it's not as bad. Again, you can just type in phrases on Amazon. You don't have to use Merch Informer. I'm just using it because it makes things faster. And it also puts everything in a nice little category, especially when I'm typing things in. But again, you can use my code if you want to try it out. I think I get 20% off. So if you use it, you'll get 20% off with the code. I've got a coupon code that you can use, HellaBella. And yeah, but hopefully this video was useful to you guys. One thing I would just caution you against is don't get in those super, super competitive niches because it's not going to be a good use of your time. Try to go where nobody else is, like this Jolly AF. I mean, there's not very many people who are here. And it goes without saying, but don't upload things before you check the trademark, and don't even design it before you check the trademark. Just go over and you can use this. Actually has a trademark checker over here that I use, but you can use another website, Trademarkia. You can literally just go type in trademarkia.com and it will allow you to check the trademark. So just be careful with your account. And yeah, I'm wishing you guys a happy Q4. Hope you have a good rest of the week. Hope your sales are good, and I will talk to you soon.